Shout out St. Pen.
Yo.
Nigga play with me, swear to God, he died. Niggas killing shit in the street, hardcore. 3 days later, find him dead cause he told. Yeah. Hey, we gon' get it straight up out the streets. Yeah. Hey, young niggas in the field, straight up out the bills. Pistol make you buy it out. We all eat nigga child out. No pistol go pow pow. I'ma set it off, nigga man down. We don't trap where we lay at. He flashing guns and
Shout out E-Banks.
Hey, what it do? We back, man. Thank you. Shout out to my drummer over there. He been holding it down with a nigga for a minute, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. The Popeyes that you brought me last Sunday. That was straight up. You know what I'm saying? But nah, yeah, we back, you know what I'm saying, talking about a little metaverse. You know what I'm saying? The big announcement, Facebook telling everybody they're going to change their name, change their whole branding from Facebook, as we currently know it, to Meta. No last name. Like Prince. You know what I'm saying?
So, slick back.
But so in the first episode, first section, we were just talking about, I guess, giving you the hype on this, something you need to pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? So for some that may be listening now, some that may tune in a little bit later. First of all, I want to tell you, it's something you just need to go do your research on. Don't rely on somebody to give you out no answers. You know what I'm saying? Because as you research, as you dig into this shit, you're going to see what's relevant for you. You feel me? But I would say, don't just look at it from a consumer perspective. If you are already in the space of entrepreneurship, independence, and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? Look into this as far as how can it be beneficial or relevant to you. Do your own research. I can't tell you that. You know what I'm saying? But I can give you some little advice on some of the things that I didn't thought of or that came across my psyche as far as when you consider talking about the actual metaverse. And what it actually is basically a virtual world. We interact with things that they would technically consider metaverse worlds on a consistent basis anytime we interact on one of these apps, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, whatever the case can be. It's its own metaverse. It's its own world. But the thing that's going to set the metaverse apart from all of these other social interaction apps that we interact with or use is your avatar or your representation of yourself via this metaverse will be consistent throughout all these different platforms. You know what I'm saying? And so if we look at it in relation to, okay, like I said, we already have meta worlds that we interact with. Let's look at 4 or 3 of the major ones. Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, Walmart. Twitter. All right? Yeah, I'm just saying something, you know what I'm saying? So if you can think about if you was able to go and visit these places like stores, or malls or whatever facilities, if you can go to these places in the actual virtual world, you feel what I'm saying? Right now, like I said, you got to create a new profile every time you want to interact and use one of these various apps. They may intermingle with each other, but stereotypically, you got to create a whole new profile for every one of them that you want to sign up with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So in the metaverse, it's like you don't have to do that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to go anywhere in this metaverse world and carry your same entity or representation of yourself throughout the whole platform. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And so they're just creating a world, and you got to look at how much Facebook then integrated with everything. You know what I'm saying? To where your Facebook account can get you not hired for a job. That's
or
how.
Fired from
yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that's how much they've integrated into our lives on a consistent basis. You feel me? So them wanting to create or get into the metaverse community, it's all about social interaction. But, you know, some going to say the deeper side of it is them collecting data. Some of them would say it's to get us detached from the actual field, the real physical world. You know what I'm saying? So they can manipulate us in a sense like The Matrix. We saw it in the movie. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of movies out there that'll give you some insight on where this can go. What are the possibilities? But at the end of the day, we're not really supposed to operate out of fear. So, hey, regardless what it is, if you got the right type of energy and mindset, you're going to be good. You're going to either learn how to adapt, deal with, you know what I'm saying? Or ascend to escape. You know what I'm saying? So, but it ain't no point of sitting there shaking in your boots type situation. But it may get worse before it get better. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I just want you to be aware and go and pay attention, do some research. You know what I'm saying? To capitalize off. At the end of the day, let's not be late to the game like the internet and the computer. That's all I'm saying. We have an opportunity now. Enough people are talking about it. You know what I'm saying? It's accessible enough for us to take advantage of this wealth transfer that's going on. Because like you say, when you look at stuff like NFTs, it's some people that have made more money in their entire life within the last year. More capital than their parents or whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't just no quote rich people that make this that was able to make this money. You talking about regular Joe, nobodies, maybe even realistically classified as poor, was able to make some real capital. You know what I'm saying? I seen one post come across Twitter. It was on some like the little chick. She was like 16 years old. She said she made $40,000 in 1 month. She ain't never made that much money in her entire life.
Doing what?
Selling some NFTs. You know what I'm saying? All of that's gonna be useful in the metaverse. That's when you start talking about blockchain and smart contracts in the metaverse. The metaverse is going to be it's going to be this real world in a digital scenario. So that's basically what it is. You can just look at the metaverse as taking this physical world and putting it in a digital environment. And they want you to be able to do as much, if not more, than what you do in this real world in the actual metaverse. You know what I'm saying? So it's a place for you to be able to go and interact, do things. They're going to have it to where you can play games, learn, educate, chill. You're going to be able to do whatever the hell in the metaverse. It's going to be multiple metaverses, just like there's multiple planets that are out here, multiple stars, things of that nature. Eventually, that's how big the metaverse is going to be. If you really want to get an idea, go and look at that movie Ready Player One. It'll break it down for you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to lean into more of the fear, conspiracy theorist side of where the metaverse can end up going to. And that's a strong reality. And I do think it's going to go there before it ever come back. You know what I'm saying? To where we really compare to us as humans having a real, actual human experience with each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's the greatest fear and detriment that the metaverse is going to create. But that's just like if you think about when cell phones and computers and laptops first came out to be as accessible as they are, the fears that we are seeing, or the things that we are seeing being played out with teenagers and kids, is stuff that they talk about, that they talked about way back then. You see some of it happening, but you see some good as well. It ain't just all bad when you talking about technology. You feel what I'm saying? I got some friends, associates, they're like, hey man, I'm going to fully integrate with the computers and the AIs. I'm not tripping. Forget it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no point of fighting. If you can't beat them, join them. Right. Type scenario. And some people really feel like and think like that. To me, I'm just like, seek to create a healthy balance. You know what I'm saying? To where you can use it for what you need to use it for. But because we are still physical beings, let's not forget about that physical human experience, because there's some true power that still lies in that. My honest take, all these things that they're creating with, and I know it's going to sound crazy. Some people are going to be like, hell no, nigga. Like, you really tripping and you going way left field. But my honest opinion, I really believe we were able to do all these things that we see in technology. We were able to do them without the actual use of these external devices. You know what I'm saying? I think we've digressed so far from what we were actually capable and able to do. This is not the height of technology when it comes to humanity as a whole and its whole entire existence, period. Man, we probably only operating on 20-30% of the shit that we was able to do, the shit that we've been able to do. You You know what I'm saying? That has been done in the actual human experience story. You feel me? Whether that's due to outside influence, education, tampering with, regardless, whatever. Human experience. I don't think we know we're operating on a level that we used to. I think there were things that we could do, like talking on the phone, video chatting, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? The stuff they finna do in this metaverse world, where you can transport yourself from this metaverse world to that metaverse world that does this metaverse world does that. It's a whole game set up around this metaverse. Oh, with this metaverse over here is strictly education. You can go and you'll be able to during there attend college level education in the meta world. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be some great uses, some scary uses. You're gonna have some where it's some metaverses to where it's completely crazy, murderous, killing. People gonna be able to live out the whole fantasies of like the Purge in this metaverse world over here. To where if you come into this metaverse world, it's gonna be some scary shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Like freak you out. I done played some VR games that are damn to make you throw off this headset. You feel me? Because the level of technology that we've gotten to putting on this virtual reality headset and how realistic it really seems. I can have you on a roller coaster ride in a chair that don't move, they ain't got no swivel. We talking about a basic chair. And I can guarantee you'll be moving like you on a real roller coaster.
Very true story.
You know what I'm saying? I can have you frozen, terrified, and petrified. If you anywhere near scared of heights, I can freeze you in your tracks on some of these VR games. I did it. And I'm thinking, man, can't shit really scare me in this VR world. I didn't play this shit enough. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just a veteran in the game, but I'm nowhere near a novice. Man, went to this one video place that let you do the VR. Had to walk on a plank like basically a 4x2 on the side of a building, but it's all burnt up, messed up. I froze for a minute. And I'm in the front of the line. And I had to really talk myself out of like, nigga, you tripping. Do you not remember you were in a room? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, be for real. But, hey, man, the shit looked that real. You know what I'm saying? And so you talking about what people going to be able to do in this metaverse, it's going to be ridiculous. Like
what do you think the medical benefits might be for people, like, suffering through trauma? I wonder if that'll be something that...
Man, I put it like this. I think we're going to get to a point in our society people would choose to expire physically in the metaverse, in the virtual world,
rather than kill themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or no, rather than just it's gonna be on some like how when they put people in hospice. It's gonna be a decision. You can choose to live out the rest of your
show?
Black Mirror, man.
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror gonna put you on the game with a lot of this shit, bro.
Oh, you talking about when the two dudes was together?
Nah.
No, but that
was one of them because they were in the metaverse.
No, I know, but see, that's just that's more than just talking about.
In the metaverse.
No, but I'm saying, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be people gonna be able to do whatever. Yes, and that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a complete mirror of reality.
Would you rather die or
live in the hospital and just, you know what I'm saying, be on some? Oh, okay, I got to deal with this day to day. I can't really do nothing. I'm immobile, can't move because I'm old as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Or if you got the bread, we can turn your virtual experience on and never cut off, and your whole consciousness is in the VR for the rest of your life.
Be young again and
wherever you want to retire, depending on how much bread you got.
Isn't that a movie we talked about?
It's an episode in Black Mirror.
No, it's an actual movie.
I don't remember one where I was talking about people retire in the VR. Now I know you talking about. I think you may be talking about Demolition Man.
No.
What is it?
He's a cop, and everybody's is pretty much is living in this virtual reality world, and they're hooked up to it in their homes, their physical bodies.
I didn't see that because
guys.
Who was another major actor in it?
The white lady.
Oh.
Let me look it up.
But I mean, like I say, it's a lot of movies out, but it's a lot of movies out there that's gonna put you on game, man. And like I say, all that is just to get us used to the idea. You know what I'm saying? Massage it, and I was like the same reason why they letting out a lot of this stuff about aliens, because they know in some point in their future we gonna really, Yeah. Yeah,
Surrogates.
we're gonna really be seeing and having alien extraterrestrial beings from outside of this universe, planet, galaxy interact with us on a consistent basis. It's gonna be a thing that they can't stop. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. They can only control to an extent our physical experience on this actual rock that we call a planet. When you get outside of this rock, it ain't too they don't have so power beyond that. You know what I'm saying? If you get on a spaceship and go up there somewhere, they can't really dictate what you do and don't do unless you decide to say, I'll do what the hell y'all tell me to do. You know what I'm saying? But all these different movies, when you look at, like you said, Surrogates, when you look at Demolition Man, that's older than that, with Wesley Snipes.
I remember
You know what I'm
Demolition. So Surrogates came out in 2009, which I
Yeah.
didn't even realize. Holy shit.
Right.
Yeah, it's an old movie, man. I mean, but it's so like, man, there's so many movies about this pandemic. What's that movie, Contagious?
Outbreak.
Yeah, Outbreak.
But that was with a monkey. The Outbreak
And
monkey.
It don't matter. You gotta think about you gotta think about the core of what happened. You know what I'm saying? The core of the plot and the storyline. What everything was centered around. Shit. They pulling some of that shit off in real life. But we so desensitized to it now, we ain't even think about it. You know what I'm saying? When you really go back and look at the movies, Outbreak, Contagion, really look at the movies and then look at we actually living through the exact shit they showed in that movie. All right, man, I Am Legend ain't happened yet. You know what I'm saying? Like it's coming.
A vision.
Basically, it says the film's main concept centers on the mysterious murder of a college student linked to a man who helped create a high-tech surrogate phenomenon that allows people to purchase remote-controlled humanoid robots through which they interact with society. So that's pretty much like the same thing.
I mean, it's gonna get to that level to where, like you said, people gonna be able to. I mean, the rabbit hole gonna get deep. It all depends on what us as a society, accept and deemed acceptable. You know what I'm saying? Because we still got to remember, we still in control. At the end of the day, if there's nobody to buy or use said products that they create or technologies they create, that product or you know what I'm saying, and that tool will be deemed unuseful.
Well, even on Player One, they still that movie, the level
Ready Player One.
Yeah, even that they were living in the slums, and he was still in the
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they still had access.
But see, you got to think about it like this. I think it got to that condition due to the fact that humanity got so distracted with the virtual world, they were able to take away certain freedoms and parameters to where it's like by the time you come out, yeah, they do got you in a small grid area. You know what I'm saying? They didn't during the quarantined you off, and you didn't even realize it because over half of your day you spending in VR. Mm-hmm. And not creating that balance where you getting out there in the real world. You feel me?
Imagine.
I'd rather be living in the country somewhere in the mountains, somewhere remote. You feel what I'm saying? And if I want to really interact with people like that to that extent, like on some regular, just normal, everyday social, uncontrollable shit, yeah, I'll get in the VR and fuck with you. You feel me? And when I get out, I'm in my real world, and the people that I really want to know where I'm at and I'm interacting with, we really cool and we really know each other. We actually have a common goal and objective as far as the type of level and lifestyle we really want to have.
So you think it's going to be more divisive than it is going to be?
The metaverse? Oh, shit, yeah.
Then it is going to be...
Come on, man, because it's going to be shit that you can do in the metaverse that you just can't do in the real world. It's going to be so... It opens that Pandora box so deep. There's conversations about people talking about as far as human rights, sexual harassment is finna go up, the whole nine. I can be a complete asshole racist to you in the metaverse.
Right. That's just like how
you feel me?
Niggas be
and
on
with
the,
no
on the
actual interact, with no repercussions. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Other than I may get kicked out of a few rooms. And so I'm saying it's gonna be parameters set up like that to where if you're interacting with such and such that you choose to, this one, they do monitor you like that. You know what I'm saying? To where you can't use offensive language, you can't be offensive to people, things of that nature. But it's gonna be some metaverse worlds out there. They just don't give a fuck. When you look at the way a church and a school operate versus we have full-fledged strip clubs. We got full-fledged sex dungeons. And in those environments, shit, what you can do changes. Right. You know what I'm saying? So they got some place you can full-fledged be beating the hell out of somebody.
So, but as a society as a whole, do you think that would be better? Like if people have a place to get those demons out, so to speak, do you think that it would make the real reality of our
Safer?
society shift? I mean, what do you think?
This reminds me. Do you remember that? I don't know if it was a movie or a show where they kept bringing the girl back. I mean, the girl back to life that the boy was constantly killing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember the name of that movie, but
and
I
they
do.
were trying to allow him to get out. The son was like a killer, and he was getting attached to this one girl, and he just kept killing her. They were putting her in a machine and like
It was a synthetic
reserving
human.
her consciousness, some kind of.
It was a synthetic human. They created. It wasn't a.
It wasn't like a random avatar robot.
Yes, it was. It was like it started off as a real human being. You feel what I'm saying?
He
did murder her
in real life.
They were
He
able
was like
to.
a teenager.
Yeah, they were able to like reanimate her with her like they downloaded her consciousness and was able to reanimate the body because they grew it to look exactly the same.
And I'm saying this because they were trying to allow him to get out his
aggression,
whatever was wrong with him. So they kept just, he killed her this time. We're gonna try again. Put her back in there, bring her back, dress her up, bathe her, sit her in his room, and call him. She's ready for you. But he just kept killing her.
Did he know that she was a fake bitch?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
She started to remember who she was in the end.
Oh. What is this movie? I gotta see this shit.
Yeah, it's
but
crazy,
I'm like,
man.
I don't know, because that's, I mean, like you said, a place where it can allow you to get all that.
But as you've seen, kind of in the movie, it didn't escape. It's not gonna. That's just a slippery, dangerous hole to go down. It's saying that I'm gonna allow somebody to act out some of these things that we deem unacceptable morally in society. You feel what I'm saying? Because eventually, the fake thing won't do. That's the risk you play. You really allow it. And so in this virtual world, people can, you know what I'm saying, do these crazy things in this virtual world that they can't really do in society. You're going to have a percentage of individuals that after a while, that simulation is just not going to cut it. And they're going to want to go out there and experience that in some actual, because there's just certain things you can't fake in the virtual world. Like we was watching this one dude podcast. You're not going to be able to breathe in the air that you actually in this virtual world. Like you can go outside and breathe in the air, good, bad, indifferent, whatever the case can be, whatever kind of air it is out there, you can actually breathe it in. And there's just certain senses that go off in your brain. You feel what I'm saying? Now they're gonna come out with suits to where you put it on and you're gonna be able to feel almost like raindrops. You're gonna be able to feel cold, hot air. You know what I'm saying? They even got things where, like I said, you got some of these vests you can put on to where if you get shot, it's gonna send an electrical shock and a pulse through your body that actually gonna simulate you actually feeling it like you got hit by a bullet. You feel what I'm saying? And so they're gonna come out with all these different things that's gonna try to simulate reality. But you know what I'm saying? They never truly gonna be able to duplicate it. You feel me? To me, the only way that they'll really be as successful as they want to be is if they raise up a whole culture or society strictly in VR. Like they never had a real human experience. Those are the ones that, to them, hey, yeah, it'll be as close to reality as they can think. But because we've had an actual true human experience,
there's something to compare it to.
No simulation is actually going to be able to replicate that. And so, like I said, just use it as a tool. But when you start, before we wrap up, because this conversation can go on for a long time because it's really deeper than a lot of people want to think about. But you can choose to get into it as deep as you choose to. But I'm saying, as our culture right now, when I talk about using it as a tool, this is the biggest growth of entrepreneurship we've ever seen in the world. This is, in our timeline right now, let's say within the last 200 years, our culture, black people, melanated, non-white, non-elite, this is the time we've never had access to this much capital, you feel what I'm saying, in such short periods of time. You feel me? We ain't never had, our society hasn't been in that era. You know what I'm saying?
So what would you do? What would you take as the
the
first step for, like, would you open up a whole meta with just our
I have, like I
people
say,
and
to me,
businesses
it's just
and
one of those things to where whatever your passion is, whatever you're doing right now in the real world, and there could be some things that you wish you could do in the real world, but you really can't do it either due to capital or actual resources or functionality. Regardless, the limitations you may have in this real world, you can damn near do and live out some of those things in the virtual world because there's really not too many limits. You know what I'm saying? And as far as, like I say, if you have a business, I put it, if there any entrepreneur out there right now, I can almost guarantee you there's some type of resemblance of that product or service that you would be able to offer in the actual virtual metaverse world that you can right now position yourself to make money in that space and be one of the first in the few. Like I told you, y'all look out, man. Codac predicted it. Miss Levy gonna have one of the first radio stations out there in the metaverse. You feel me?
Come on, manifestation.
You feel me? Real shit. And you gotta think about it. When you become one of the first, can't nobody take that away from you. Let's not talk about you being the best, made the most money.
Right.
But when they talk about it, just like in our culture with rap,
right,
some of the greatest MCs never amassed the amount of money that our MCs have today.
Facts.
But what's always talked about? Those MCs are
legend.
always gonna go back. Mm-hmm. Now I understand it ain't like you can go back and pay them, they dead.
Right.
But if you forward think right now, the way this NFT and crypto work, your family will always be able to eat off the greatness that you create.
Right.
You feel me?
Legacy shit.
And so that's what I'm saying right now, man. This is where we can really be positioning ourselves to have some true freedom. My ideal scenario when it comes to this, like I said, we can go a long time. I know it's a lot of questions, a lot of stuff that a lot of people want to ask. That's why I say from the beginning, do your own goddamn research, man. Don't let somebody else tell you what's up. And let the universal truth and knowledge speak to you on how you can operate in this space. That's the key. We get so used to, as a culture, people giving us all the goddamn answers. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And we don't go out there and do no type of digging and no research to figure out how we can actually experience the true freedom that's out there and why it's even came into our universe and society or existence. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, my ideal scenario, live the best life you can live in the metaverse. You can live out some dreams, some fantasies, some all this shit. Get over some trauma. You can deal with some shit. You know what I'm saying? You scared of heights, go play some games in the VR world in the safety of your homes where you know no matter how bad it gets you physically, ain't gonna get hurt. You can go out there and try to overcome some of them goddamn fears. It don't matter how many times it take your ass to try to walk across that plank. Eventually, though, your brain is gonna be desensitized to where you'll be able to do it. And you may be able to translate that into some real world life experiences. But live the best life you can live in the VR. But at the same time, use that technology, man, to where you can amass some real wealth out here in the physical world. Right. And have some real fun out here, too. Now you're able to travel a little bit more. Don't get caught up in that shit. Try to have a balance, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to spend up to 12 hours in the metaverse, spend 12 hours on you, loving you in this real world, connecting with the earth. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's how you don't have to really worry about, how scary, how fucked up, how jacked up it's going to get. At least if you come into the game now with a knowledge of learning, when it get down to it, to where all the jobs exist in the metaverse, right? You at least able to get up in there and operate. If you ain't created a business or some type of revenue stream in the metaverse to where you making money, you know what I'm saying? You want to see how to tie it all in, little piece of jewel. Create you some type of NFT that can be sold via the metaverse world. So when this metaverse pop, you got some type of currency or exchange that you can have going on to where now you don't have to spend your actual hard dollars to go buy crypto. You can be gaining crypto. You know what I'm saying? Whatever services you may offer as a business owner out there, entrepreneur, this is the time you need to be thinking about, okay, let me accept cryptocurrency. Who can I team up with, go out there, what knowledge can I acquire to where my services, like me as a photographer, okay, allowing my clients to pay me via crypto. So what now? For that same time that I would spend and expect an exchange of currency from this hard dollar right now that we know is depreciating, I can give that time, get some crypto that can hold a little bit more value for a little bit longer time. And I ain't having to spend extra hard dollars to go out there and play with this influctuation of the cryptocurrency market. You know what I'm saying? And then use that actual cryptocurrency to go out there and amass real assets in the physical world. That's that balance. That's that full circle. You feel me? It's all a tool. It's all a tool, man. You know what I'm saying? The same way, like I tell anybody, look at how you use your phone right now. There are some people that use their phone and they're making lots of money via their phone. There are some people that just on the phone like kids and that's all they do is just entertain themselves and it ain't nothing but a huge distraction. What you gonna use it for? You feel me? That's the question. And all it takes is for you to go out there and dig a little digging because this shit is so new. They ain't hiding a lot of this information. It's out there available to you. Use one of the main resources. Get on some YouTube. Google it. I mean, just YouTube it, man. You know what I'm saying? Go and look at opinions from everybody. People outside of the circle that you actually chill with. Don't just think about what the rappers are saying about the metaverse world. Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to catch on late. Now, I'll tell you one pioneer when it comes to the metaverse world. It's Snoop Dogg. Got a whole... Snoop Dogg finna make more money than 50 Cent. Swear to God. Why? He was one of the first. Snoop Dogg himself has a whole brand associated around him. 50 Cent really don't have a brand like that. Yeah, he's a mogul businessman. They know he makes some power plays, but Snoop Dogg image himself is a whole brand with the smokers community, the Rastas, the Locks, the low riders, that Cali lifestyle. You feel me? And he's marketed that into a whole fucking metaverse game. You know what I'm saying? To where Snoop Dogg got his own metaverse game, experience you can have, and you can dress like Snoop Dogg. You feel me? Drive the lowrider car like Snoop Dogg. You feel me? All that. So it's going to be as big as play as 50 Cent did with vitamin water.
Right.
Promise you.
Even
Watch
during
it.
that time, though.
Watch it. He was a pioneer at that time with the vitamin water. It was a power play. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be so much of a power play right now. You feel me? But the same thing with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg coming into this shit early, man. Ain't no other person in our culture talked about creating an actual metaverse experience game to that extent. Gaming, we know off top got the biggest community out there in anything. It ain't one industry out here that can compete with the gaming market. But us in our culture, we don't know too many people that really would know we do. It's just the same repetitive games like the sports and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's quote unquote secretive just due to the fact that traditional ways of doing it, you have to waste what would be considered a lot of time being unproductive, sitting on the couch. But it's not going to be like that with the meta world now. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, this gave y'all some shit to really just think about, some perspectives to go and do some research on. Something it should have just triggered. The universe and all. For those that's out there that's meant to understand and listen to it and hear it, some going to click, go do some digging, go Google, YouTube some stuff, gain some knowledge, you feel what I'm saying? And see how you can capitalize off this new shit with the meta. But pay attention. Facebook ain't finna be Facebook no more. Just think about that. We out. Y'all had a moment with Codac and Ivy. She didn't say too much, you know what I'm saying? But hey, she was speaking to some of y'all just in a whole nother dimension. It is what it is. We out. Love the Jam Radio, man.